Let's continue. Kailash Satyarthi says that the vision of tomorrow which he had as a child has become today. He further adds, I am today and you are today. Here, today means the present time. And we all are living in this present time, and hence he says that we are today. Today, it is time for every child to have a right to life. And he says that it is this present time where every child in this world should have the right to live, the right to come in this world, right to freedom. Every child should have a right to live freely, right to health. Every child should be healthy, and this can happen only when children are provided with nutritious food and balanced diet. Right to education. Every child should get an opportunity to go to school and be educated. Right to safety. Every child should get the right to feel secured, to feel safe. Right to dignity. Every child should be respected. Every child should be respected. Right to equality. Every child should be treated as an equal. There should not be any discrimination. And right to peace. Every child should have the right to live in a peaceful environment. Here we have a question. What rights should every child have in our times? And this is the answer to it. Let's go ahead. Today, beyond the darkness, I see the smiling faces of our children in the blinking stars. Now, just let us understand this sentence. Now, blinking stars you see in the dark night. And here, what Kailash Satyarthi says that beyond the darkness. Now, at night, we all are surrounded by darkness. But beyond that darkness, if we see in the sky, we find the stars blinking, they are shining. Similarly, he says that the injustice which is done to children, it is just like this darkness. And beyond that injustice, when this injustice will not remain in the society, and when every child gets all these rights, get justice, then he says that beyond that, he sees this, he sees smile on every child's face, that the children are smiling. Today, in every wave of every ocean, I see my children are playing and dancing. When he sees the waves of the oceans moving up and down, he feels as if children are happy. And in this happiness, children are dancing and playing. Today, in every plant, in every tree and mountain, I see our children growing freely with dignity. He says that today, just as a plant or a tree or a mountain is given the freedom to grow freely as they wish, similarly, he feels that in this present time, our children will also get the right to grow freely, and that also with dignity, with self-respect. Friends, I want you to see and feel this today inside you. And this today, this definition of today, which is told in these two paragraphs, that every child gets all these rights, and every child has a smile on his or her face. Every child is playing, dancing, and growing freely with dignity. This today, this definition of today, which Kailash Satyarthi has told the world, he says that he wants that every one of us see this today. Every one of us feel this today, this present time. Here we have a question. What is your vision of tomorrow? Now, Kailash Satyarthi had a vision of tomorrow as a child. And what was his vision? That a cobbler boy would come next, would sit next to him and seek education in his classroom. That was his vision. Now, here, this is a personal response question. What kind of vision you have of tomorrow, that what kind of um, society or a country you would like to live in. And I would just give you a few things, that we would like to live in a society which is corruption free, where everyone is equal, there is no discrimination on the basis of anything, and where everyone is literate. Okay, so you can just add your own points also to this question. My dear sisters and brothers, as I said, many interesting things are happening today. May I please request you to put your hand close to your heart, close your eyes, and feel the child inside you. I think that you all remember this thing, this request which he had made to the audience, and all sitting in the audience had done this. If you have seen the video of the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, you would just recall it. So he requests everyone to put their hands close to their heart, then close their eyes and feel the child inside them. I'm sure you can. And he says that I'm very sure that you all would remember that child which is there inside you. Now, listen to that child. Listen to that child who is speaking to you. Listen, please. What is that child telling? Right? So, here we have a question. What does Mr. Satyarthi request the listeners? And he requests to put their hands close to their heart, close their eyes, and feel the child inside them. And you can also add this point, that is, he also asks the people over there, the listeners, to listen to that child. Today I see thousands of Mahatma Gandhis, Nelson Mandelas, and Martin Luther Kings calling on us. Kailash Satyarthi says that in the present time, he has seen that there are a number of people who are walking on the footsteps of these great personalities. And they are calling on us. They want us to do something for the children, for the betterment of the society. Now, here you already know who Mahatma Gandhi was. He was the father of our nation, and he was the leader of the non-violent freedom movement of India. Nelson Mandela, he was the president of South Africa, and he was the first black president of South Africa. He fought against racial discrimination, and therefore he was sentenced to life imprisonment. Later on, he was released, and he became the president of South Africa. It was in 1993 that Nelson Mandela was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Martin Luther King also fought for eradicating racial discrimination, and his goal was to secure the legal rights of African Americans. He was also awarded the the Nobel Peace Prize in 1964. So all these great personalities, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King, had one thing in common, and that was that they protested through peaceful means. Let's go ahead. Let us democratize knowledge. Kailash Satyarthi says to one and all that we need to democratize knowledge. We need to make knowledge free for all. Let us universalize justice. Let everyone all over the world get justice. Together, let us globalize compassion. Let us have compassion for each and everyone, every human, every mankind, every child who is residing on this universe. I call upon you in this room and all across the world, and he says that he calls upon, he is asking everyone to do something, who was sitting in the audience in that room where he was addressing at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, and all across the world who were watching his speech. I call for a march from exploitation to education. And here comes the title of the lesson: Let's March. Let's go ahead. And we have to go ahead. We have to move forward from exploitation. Exploitation means to take undue advantage of anyone, to education. So instead of taking undue advantage, as in the with reference to children, undue advantage is being taken by subjecting them to child labor. From there, we have to move to education, that every child should be educated. A call for a march from poverty to shared prosperity. We all need to move from poverty. There should not be a single person who is poor, who is facing poverty. From there, we have to move to shared prosperity. That is, everyone um, have should be prosperous. At least they should be able to fulfill their basic needs. A march from slavery to liberty. He says that we need to move from slavery, that is, to make to subject somebody to slavery. From there, we need to move, we need to eradicate it, and we need to give liberty to everyone, freedom to everyone. And a march from violence to peace. We need to leave violence behind, we need to eradicate violence from our lives, but we need to go towards peace. That is, we need to create peace all over the world. Now here we have a question according to Mr. Satyarthi, who are calling for us. So we can see the answer here, that thousands of Mahatma Gandhis, Nelson Mandelas, and Martin Luther Kings are calling on us. Let us march from ignorance to awakening. Let us march from darkness to light. Let us march from mortality to divinity. Let us march. And this is how Kailash Satyarthi ends his speech. These last three lines of his speech are translation of the Sanskrit shlok taken from the Upanishad. The Sanskrit shlok is Astoma Satgamay, Tamsoma Jyotirgamay, Mrityorma Amrutam Gamay. Now let's understand it. He says that let us march from ignorance to awakening. Ignorance means lack of knowledge, to awakening, that is towards knowledge. Let us march from darkness to light. We need to go ahead from darkness. Darkness is symbolic of all the evils, all the wrong things which are there in the society. From there, we need to march ahead towards light. Light is symbolic of creation. Light is symbolic of all the good things, positivity. Let us march from mortality to divinity. He says that we all need to go ahead from mortality, that is to face death, towards divinity, that is to be divine, that is to be immortal. And towards the end, he says, let us march. Let us together march ahead. Let us together go ahead and put an end to all the social evils which are existing in our society, and make this planet Earth a better place to live in. So I hope, children, the lesson is clear to you. Tomorrow when we meet, we will go ahead with the English workshop of this lesson. Till then, take care of yourself, and thank you so much.